Letsatsi, thanks so much for your time on SABC News. What's this thing about fraud?
Good evening, Zink, and good evening to the viewers at home as well. Look, we started the process of card swap early this year. I think it was around May. Remember the contract between the South African Social Security Agency and the past payment contractor came to an end in September. So we had to get the new SASSA support card, which is a gold card. And we have been trying to request our beneficiaries to do the card swap because unfortunately that old white SASSA card, the lifespan comes to an end in December. We have people who have done that. We have about 7.5 million beneficiaries on a SASSA platform, but unfortunately we still have this 370,000 people who have not come forward. And unfortunately, if they don't do that by the end of December, they won't be able to access their money in January 2019.
So when you say they won't be able to access their money, just for that period until they swap, and what's going to happen is the money going to collect until they get the new card?
We have auto-migrated them. There will be money deposited into the account. However, it won't be active until they come to both, they can go to South African Post Office or they can come to SASSA offices. We're only going to close during public holidays. However, we'll be open throughout. They can be able to swap their card, and once they do that, they'll be able to access their money immediately.
How widely and how much have you tried to get this message across to people who need social grants, some of the most vulnerable people in our country, considering that there were a lot of problems with people accessing their grants when you did this changeover?
Look, we had an engagement with our provinces, and what some of the things which they did, they went to the schools when the schools were still open, they went to the churches, they went all over. We had some arrangement and engagement with the taxi industry and so that we can be able to engage with people, which we have done. That's why we are delighted that at least we've got 7.5 beneficiaries who migrated. We also have about 3 million beneficiaries who use the platform of their own. Like, for example, they've got bank accounts. So those are safe. But this is the last push which we are doing, because we don't want, we know that in January, we don't want people to be complaining that they can't get the access to their money. So we're trying to push to make sure we're appealing to them that please, it's not a tedious process. Last week I went to Midrand. It takes about less than 5 minutes for a beneficiary to be able to do the card swap. And their concentration, it's basically in Western Cape and Gauteng. So, but we think using this platform, beneficiaries will be able to come forward and change their cards.
So if I have a SASSA white card and I go to an office to get my grant, why can't I just get a gold card when they see that this card doesn't work? Obviously you have to bring the ID, but obviously beneficiaries choose to get their grants in all various platforms. So unfortunately, it will be illegal for us to continue using the white SASSA card, because the contract between us and the payment contractor came to an end. So we can't continue using that card. My question was, why can't, when someone goes to SASSA office with a white card, can they just swap it with a gold card? Is that quite a relatively simple?
No, it is allowed. That's what they simply do. You just come to our office, you present your old white SASSA card with your ID, obviously, because we need to authenticate that this is this is the right person. It's a very simple process which beneficiaries have to go through. Okay,
let's go back to my question about fraud. I'm not sure if perhaps you didn't answer or I didn't understand your answer. There's a fear that those 370,000 people or beneficiaries who haven't come forward, that might be people using SASSA cards fraudulently. How?
Look, we don't want to say these are fraudulent beneficiaries, but what we are saying is that you cannot rule out the possibility. We don't want to prejudge beneficiaries. We think let's give them an opportunity. If there are those who have been getting the grants fraudulently, obviously they won't come forward, and obviously after 3 months when we have been depositing the money in that account, we basically consider it a dormant account and we deactivate it. But we are very much careful. We don't want to say these are fraudulent beneficiaries and so on. We think our beneficiaries are responsible people. We don't think that they can willy-nilly try to defraud us. But let's give them a chance. We'll definitely assess after 2 or 3 months if what is the progress.
So let our viewers know what the process is, where they can go in order to swap this card, and the deadline for them to do that.
Look, they have until the month end. they can go to the South African Post Office, they can go to the South African Social Security Agency offices anytime during working days. They can be able to swap their card. And if they want to inquire, they can call our toll-free number, which is 0800 60 1011. That's the number which they can be able to call. But we generally want to wish them a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2019.
Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. SASSA's Head of Communication, Paseka Letsatsi. It's time for